What's up, you awesome gamers? It's time for the Gaming Report, your daily dose of gaming news. I'm one of your hosts, the Governor. Sitting next to me is the lovely SheWulf.
Yo guys, I hope you guys are excited. This is something a little bit different.
In this show, we pick a few of the top gaming topics of the day to discuss and keep you, the gamer, informed of what's happening in the gaming industry. You can watch us live on Mixer 3 days a week. That's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday currently on mixer.com/GKBX. If you can't watch us live, don't worry. We will be uploading each episode to YouTube at Gamers Knows Best. This is a new show, and we need your help, so make sure you follow, subscribe, and like. It really does help us out. So how you doing, SheWulf? What's going on?
Not a whole lot, obviously. It's just been one of those days. We've had so many bad storms today.
Yeah, it's been
We've
terrible.
had that's why this has actually started so late, because we had a whole bunch of freaking power outages and everything. Florida's not doing too good with the storms today.
Yeah. So, like I said, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a little while, kind of like a daily news show. We're still doing the CC, Gaming Den's still going on and all that kind of stuff. I just thought it would be really cool. Touch on a few topics and then a discussion topic at the end. Something maybe not quite, well, it's always gaming related, but something a little more that we can dive into and get our teeth and stuff into. It's going to be kind of fun. Just... Grr. So go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic, and that's a new Atari box. So, this is the first console for Atari going from 20 years now. So everybody that signed up to that website that they had, the Atari box and all that kind of stuff, they got a new flyer recently. I think it was today or maybe it was yesterday, but it's making the news circles right now. It talks a little bit about, some of the stuff in the Atari box, and we're going to go ahead and go through that. It's a little bit long, guys, so I'll read all this stuff, and then we're going to dive into some cool stuff and maybe not so cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead. Inspired by the classic Atari design elements, such as the iconic use of wood, ribbed lines, and raised back, we are creating a smooth design with ribs that flow seamlessly all around the body of the product, a front panel that you can either have wood or glass, a front-facing logo indicator, lights that glow through the material, an array of new ports, HDMI, 4 USB, and an SD card reader. We intend to release 2 different editions, a wood edition and a black and red edition. As you can guess, those ports suggest modern internal specs. It also means that while we'll be delivering classic gaming content, here's where it gets interesting, we'll also deliver current gaming content. So we're going to dive into that here in a little bit more, but one more thing to talk about. Atari has not provided any information on the internal hardware pricing, release dates, or what games will be available on the console at launch. But the company says it's listening closely to the feedback from Atari community, and it will be making its decisions based on that. So what do you think, SheWulf?
Well, okay, first off, I want to say this thing kind of looks like it's from the future.
It does
something.
kind of like
it
was in some sci-fi movie.
It does. It does look like it's from some sci-fi. If anybody has looked at this thing, it's very sleek and very clean. The back of it is it's got that nice solid red, and then you have all the I don't want to say vents, obviously, because they're the whole design
That's
is
just
not
the whole rib sign. Yeah,
yes, it's
not really
the
vents,
rib
yeah.
sign, but it's not actually obviously all vents, because that would make sense. But I do love the look of it, and it looks like it's going to be tiny.
Yeah, it's hard to pick up on how big it's actually going to be. Is it really a tiny NES mini kind of thing, or is it going to be more of a bigger console? And that's where I was kind of looking at it. They didn't show the controller, which is another weird thing that I was why aren't you showing a controller? Because now I'm kind of worried about that. Are we going to have dual thumbsticks, or is it going to be an old NES kind of controller with a D-pad and just a couple of buttons? What are we looking at here? They said modern internal specs. Okay, that can mean a lot of things.
But then why does it need 4 USB ports?
Well, that's probably for the controller, so you can have 4-player maybe.
You think that's why it's going to be?
I think so. I think that's why they have the 4. Or, it could be hard drive, but they have the SD card reader. See, that's where I keep going back to.
I was going to ask, because of the fact that it has the SD reader, what would be the point of attaching a hard drive?
Right. And that's the other concerning thing with me too, with the whole like modern internal and current gaming content, because that can mean a lot of things. Current gaming content could be like indies today. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be playing like Destiny or any of the big AAA titles, depending on what hardware is in here. So I'm kind of worried in the fact that, are we looking at an NES Mini here? Or are we looking at, or like an Android, like some of those Android consoles like the Ouya and stuff like that? Or are we looking at like a full-on next-gen Atari type kind of console?
Honestly, it just reminds me much of like a Nintendo system.
That's kind of where it's coming off to me. And I don't know how I like that.
This game, like, I cannot see this system have the support base to be able to play the multiplayer games that we play on like PlayStation and Xbox. That just does not
Well,
make
to be fair,
any
we don't know the
sense.
specs yet.
No, we don't. But a system that comes out like this, first off, is it going to have the features that we all talk about Nintendo with? Is it going to have party chat? Is it going to have like where you're going to have to pay some online feature? Like there's, even though this box looks really neat and everyone I'm sure loves the idea of having Atari come into play, the question comes down to what is going to be actually done once you load it up? Because just because something looks amazing doesn't mean it's going to be worth playing. Like, if you load this thing up and it's literally just, say, like a mini NES Classic where it just has games built into it or whatever, then you're very limited. Chances are you're done and it's over. But if they're going to actually implicate actually adding an online system where they allow having like party chat and allowing you to be able to actually have your own online account, just like, Microsoft and PlayStation. If they give you that, they could almost give Nintendo almost like a bit of a run for their money, depending how they do it.
That's interesting. Like, and that's the part of the problem with this, like, announcement. And the problem I really have with it is, like, if you're going to announce it, then announce the whole damn thing. Tell us what's inside it. Where's the controllers? What games are you going to have? And if you don't have any of that stuff ready and you're listening to the community and stuff, then wait till you have all that ready.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. Like, today's gamers are very online focused. They need the online support. They need to have the friends, the chat, the whole kit and caboodle there to have a really great experience going forward. And I see like that with the Nintendo Switch right now. We've seen with their chat thing, and that's kind of a fiasco right now. I don't know any gamer that has the Switch right now and is like excited about the chat app and how you have to like hook this thing up to even make it work.
But we do know it has an HDMI port.
Correct.
So that I'm sure everyone is.
But I mean, a
excited
Raspberry
for.
Pi that you can get for like $50
Yes.
has an HDMI port.
That is
really
true. But again, this is where it comes back to, I'm sure it makes people wonder. They actually came out, Atari came out, and they said, you're going to be able to play classic games and then current games.
Current gaming
So
content.
what does, like you said, what does that mean for the gamers? For you to come out and say this, all it does is leave a whole bunch of more questions. It doesn't answer anything, and that doesn't push me to buy it.
No, it got me worried because I was very like when we first heard about the Atari box. I did the vlog and I was like super excited about it because Atari hasn't been in the hardware game for like 20 plus years. Yeah. The last one was the Jaguar and all that kind of stuff, which failed miserably. Let's be honest. And now they're getting back into it, and I think it's really cool that. And I hope Sega maybe comes into this. We don't know anything about that. I'm just saying like that would be a really awesome thing because I think, Microsoft and Sony need some more competition and all that kind of stuff. And that just drives more innovation, more better games and all that kind of stuff. And I enjoy that. And I think Atari, if they're going that route, would be really cool. Because they've been 20 years outside looking in kind of thing and being like, all right, this is what Sony's doing. This is what Microsoft's doing. Now, how do we take some of the best stuff from each of those, put it into ours, and make a better product for people?
Well, okay. Does anybody remember the Alien, their box? I don't really.
Yeah, the Steam boxes and stuff.
The Steam box, yes.
Yeah, the Alienware
This
Alpha.
Reminds me a lot of that. It really does. But possibly
Well,
for
potentially.
consoles. I just mean the design of it, and possibly how the outlook could come. But again, it still comes a lot back to what exactly are you giving us? Like, are you going to be able to play Call of Duty? Are you going to be able
that's
to
the
play
big questions.
Battlefront? Are you going to be able? And again, this is where everything just keeps coming back to me. What is going to be your chat system? Because multiplayer games is in, like, that's gaming now.
Yeah.
not sitting at home. A lot.
Well, this is all like coming on the premise if they can play the big AAA titles, right?
Yes, but how can you say current games but not? But I guess
like indie is like mobile platform.
But
type
even
kind of
indies
stuff.
though, a lot of indie games that are coming out now are all multiplayer based. Like there's a lot of them that are coming out that are multiplayer based as well. There is we all do know there's a lot that aren't. They are just obviously single players, but if you're going to hit the main gamers, because this was the point I was trying to make with the whole the actual point of the multiplayer thing is gamers nowadays, they play with their friends online. Even like, our kids and other kids that like their friends and stuff, they're like, oh, just add my gamer tag and we'll game.
Yeah.
They don't have to come over because, it is hard. Parents are always working.
I do kind of miss that though, like the old LAN parties and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of fun.
It is fun, but nowadays
today's
it's just
gamers
so much harder because you either live too far, parents are working all the time, and it's just hard for, anybody, even parents, like even adults. You don't even have to be a parent. You can just be an adult. You're going to school, you're going to work. When you get home, you don't want to be
I don't want to go to my friend's house.
Dude, hey, dude. Is your wife okay with me coming over to play some video games?
If your wife's SheWulf, then yes, but...
Well, yeah. If it's me, then obviously I don't care. You want to come over and play some games? We got a 120-inch screen TV. Let's go. But no, it all comes down to, this system, like, yes, we're talking about the design and the pictures they released and not actually released in this.
And I think, to be fair, I think it looks really cool. I think it's got a really nice modern design,
but
but still goes back to the nostalgic of, the Atari 2600 and all that kind of stuff.
I really love the colors. The red and black thing that they're doing, they offset each other perfectly. The fact that it's just not a sleek box like the Xbox, I find that also looks amazing because even the PlayStation is very sleek and just, it's flat. But the fact that they actually took some design and added textures to it to give it more depth, I love that. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons I would even consider buying it. Just
for the base off the look.
Just because of how it looks.
Yeah, I like the whole modern design of it and stuff. Before we move on, my last one little thing about Atari is I really hope this is their next generation console, not some Ouya Android based, whatever that can play.
Mini NES Classic.
Old, yeah, like the NES Classic and all that kind of stuff. But if I had to guess right now, just based off the information, it looks like it's probably going towards that and maybe playing some indie mobile type kind of games.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see Atari come out when you actually have something to really show us off. But I agree, the design and everything sounds pretty interesting right now.
And it makes you wonder about that 4 USB thing.
4 in HDMI. Yeah, we'll have to see. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is kind of near and dear to our hearts, especially mine, because I love this game mode and everything like that. But Sledgehammer was not frigging happy that their Call of Duty trailer for San Diego Comic-Con was leaked. They were pretty damn pissed off and went to Twitter and voiced their damn opinions. That being said, I mean, that sucks. The developer, getting all that stuff leaked and stuff is really a pain in the ass. But that's kind of, the climate we live in now with social media and, you're trusting these people and giving them this information and they just go and show it to people. So that's unfortunate. But since it's out there, we're not going to show any of the video or anything like that because they are hammering YouTube and knocking everything down that's getting shown. So we're not going to show any of that stuff. But we did watch it. And we're going to talk about it. I thought it was terrifyingly fantastic to see. And the whole Call of Duty World War II, back to its roots, they are sticking to that through all their game modes. It looks like we're back to Nazi zombies again. It looks terrifying. It looks fantastic. And I don't know about you, but the whole gameplay, everything that they showed, it looked like it was in this bunker. And one of my favorite zombie-esque type movies was The Outpost, where they were stuck out into that bunker. And it just reminded me that the more and more I seen it. We saw a little bit of gameplay, a lot of just cutscenes and stuff like that. But we saw the new Juggernaut kind of guy. He had this big hulking hand thing with spikes on it. He looks like he's gonna beat the shit out of you with it, which looks awesome. The graphics and everything look amazing, just like the rest of Call of Duty. So I'm glad that's up to par. What did you think of the trailer?
This comes into less was definitely more.
Oh, absolutely.
Because just watching this,
normally I don't say that. Microsoft with your marketing, less is not more.
I agree. You don't usually say that, but for this, just having Hitler talk at the beginning just
I don't know
like
if that was Hitler though.
It was.
Was it?
It was Hitler. It was Hitler. And it's just, it gave you chills, like, just listening to him as, like, the music is coming up and you see Sledgehammer come up and you see Activision come up and you see the backgrounds, and then all of a sudden you just see simply a guy just walking. Like, you're like, wait, what is that? And then you realize it's a zombie, and it's a Nazi zombie, and he's just slowly walking. And then it just cuts and starts going. It's things like that. Like, everyone knows my favorite genre is obviously horror, because I love the thrills. I love how those games play out. And this trailer, it literally makes you shiver watching it, because there's so much going on, but the atmosphere was perfect. Yeah. The lighting.
It looks like a really tight, claustrophobic kind of like craziness, and I'm just like, oh.
But it was like dark and gloomy, and it was like the rusted doors, and you had like rusted hallways, and just everything made you wonder what the hell is going on. And obviously, we all know what zombies are. We all know that Call of Duty does the best zombies. And I was disappointed in Sledgehammer, yes, for taking away my Advanced Warfare, but giving me this zombies, damn, like, I was so happy to see these zombies. And
I thought it was also kind of really cool too that this kind of leaked, and we just found out that George Romero died, you know, the godfather of the zombie movie. Like, he made, you know, Night of the Living Dead and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really interesting. It sucks that, you know, he passed away on us and all that kind of stuff, but with this being leaked and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of like weird tied together kind of thing. Hopefully they do some homage to him, like, in that game.
That'd be cool. I am curious though. The one thing about Call of Duty and their zombies is the fact that they always take celebrities.
Yes.
For who they play. So
they picked a couple already.
Who?
What was it? Alandi Young. She's gonna be one of the female characters. She played Elektra in Daredevil, the second season, and all that kind of stuff. So they haven't released everything. I don't know how many other.
I don't know about her.
I know you like one of the, you know, the big people.
No, I just want people who remind me of zombie movies or zombie TV shows. Like, you know, I would have loved having Michonne in one of these, because that would just be badass.
Like a Walking Dead themed one. Yeah.
Well,
what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you so much for rocking out with us.
They brought friggin' Shane in, so why can't, like, hell, Carol? Give me Carol.
Come on,
like,
it's Shane, duh.
But Carol is pretty badass.
Yeah. I'll take Shane.
Fine. You suck.
But yeah.
So who else was that the only one that they released?
That's the only one that I saw. I think there was another male protagonist that was announced too, but I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But
either way, I am excited to see who they get to play, the 4 characters that you'll be able to play. And I'm also curious to see how far they take it. Because we do know Black Ops 2.
I think they're going back to their like roots in this one.
No, I understand that, but I mean more or less, Black Ops 2 gave us Alcatraz.
Yes.
Now Alcatraz,
that was super fun,
is my all-time favorite map. I love that they brought in a historic feature like that. And when they did the Nazi zombies, and not even just Alcatraz, a lot of the other maps that they gave, I find they all tied in perfectly. So I'm curious if they're going to actually take those kind of maps and go back to those kind of add-ons where they allow more historical.
That's kind of what Black Ops 3 did. They did some of the older maps now into the newer version.
I don't mean that. I don't want that. I mean the historical points that was like that, to make you feel like Alcatraz. Everybody knows that was a historical thing.
So like a historical place in time or whatever.
Yes, give these, like, the fact that they're doing the World War zombies and stuff like that. It's obviously going to hit home for some people because of the fact that that is still historic. And a lot of the zombies people are like, okay, well, we're going too far in the future. You know, you do get a lot of maps that are just kind of all over the place.
I will say, there was a couple people on the Console Corner podcast that said the 80s zombies was going to suck and this, that, and the other. Eat them words, because it was fucking awesome.
It was cool, but at the same time, I still liked, like, the Black Ops 2 era when they did zombies. Like, I loved those. Like, those maps, they looked gorgeous. They didn't... See, the problem I had with, like, the whole theme park zombies and stuff like that, it was too colorful.
It's the 80s, though. That's kind of what it was.
But it was too colorful. Like, it didn't look
I mean, I see where you're coming from the aspect of like it doesn't feel like really a zombie type kind of thing. It was too colorful and kitty and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
but
no,
I think
even
it
the
fit
graphics.
in.
But I mean, like even take the graphics from Black Ops 2. Okay, running around in Alcatraz. Even just the textures and the buildings. Just everything. The walls, the textures. It gave you that feel like as if you're almost watching a zombie TV show kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gave you that kind of feel. Where in the 80s, it literally felt like you were playing a video game. Like it was just bright, colorful.
But you are playing a video game.
But when I'm playing zombies, that's I want to feel like I'm like literally in the thing.
Yeah,
and
so you like more of the Night of the Living Dead, like more of the horror aspect to it. Not really the campy, funny kind of stuff that they were doing in the 80s version, even though I thought it was fantastic and hilarious.
And how many times have you played it?
A few times.
How many times have you played it?
A few times.
How many times have
Quite
you
a
played
few
it?
times.
Have you beat all the Easter eggs like you do in all the other ones? Yeah,
No.
exactly. But
I don't have all the DLC either.
You also didn't stay too long into it.
So that's Nazi Zombies. It's going to be fantastic. Stay tuned for San Diego Comic-Con. They're going to be showing some more stuff. Probably talking about a lot about it. All the characters.
Oh, and it's called Army of the Dead.
Oh yeah, it is called Army of the Dead.
I think it's all going to be focused on Hitler and his. It's going to be like Hitler
super
and
soldiers
his
program
soldiers
kind of
and.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Almost like that movie.
Outpost. Yeah.
Outpost.
Gonna be cool. Can't wait to play it. And I'm definitely gonna pick up COD. I'm not even gonna lie to everybody. Don't you lie either, guys. You know you're gonna go buy it too. All right.
I don't have a choice to buy it if he buys it.
Let's go ahead and move into the next topic. And this is kind of an interesting one because I think a lot of people in the community like and hate this guy based on what he says. But Pactor comes out and he states he doesn't see the Xbox One X as a good purchase right now. Here's some of the stuff that he's been saying. He noted that the high price of the Xbox One X prevents it from getting any kind of meaningful market penetration. He's like, I don't think so at this price. I think it's too expensive, he said, and everything is relative, obviously, and you always hear the false equivalencies about the thing's cost. So you'll hear things like the Xbox One X is cheaper than a big screen TV. He says, but my big screen TV will be useful 10 years from now. He can add it in another room and still get like use out of it. Where as a console, maybe after its life cycle, you won't get any more use of it. I kind of agree and don't agree with a lot of his statements, but I want to go ahead and talk about this stuff. So he did go on to say that 500 is too much and 300 is a much better price point, and referred to the PS4 and the Xbox One S at 249, and that the X cost the equivalent of both of those put together. So if a gamer wanted to spend $500, he can go get both of those and maybe have a better experience than the Xbox One S. Is kind of what he was saying. He went on to talk about the 4K TV market, and the shares are sitting at like 20% in the US as of February 2017 and thereabouts. And he doesn't think like 4K is enough for this console to get out there in people's homes. Again, like I don't agree with all these things, and I'm going to state my stuff here in a minute. I do think from a standpoint of the console market and price point, I think when they develop a console, they look at three things. They look at what are we going to put inside, what is it going to do for the games, and then how much is this damn thing going to cost, right? Like, and that is a big factor. And I think 1 in 3 of those are intertwined. Mm-hmm. And if you look at today's gamers, like when the Xbox One like first launched at $500 and all this other kind of, people were just losing their minds, and everything else. Price point was one of it, and there was other things that was going on too that people didn't like. But as you've seen with the PS3 too, that launched at $600, and people like lost their shit about that. It didn't do very well. And I think from that standpoint, I think he's got a point. My other thing is, with Phil Spencer and what they're saying, that the Xbox One X isn't for everyone. It's for the niche gamer that wants the best experience, the premier experience, and all that kind of stuff. And I agree with that. And if they are not on board with that kind of stuff, they do have the Xbox One S or the base PS4. They don't have to go get the Pro. They don't have to get the Xbox One X, and their games are going to go on forward. I do disagree in the fact that I think these consoles have a longer lifespan than what he thinks. And that's because of due to the forwards and backwards compatibility now that we're seeing in these consoles. Like they can, play games no matter what version they're on. They're still going to be you'll be able to play them on both, right? Going forward. So, what is your take on it?
First off, you sound kind of stupid. Not you, the Patcher, whatever the hell his name is. Because first off, 500.
What do you mean I sound stupid?
Okay, first off, The Xbox One X, yes, okay, it's $500. But when Xbox One actually released, it was $499 to buy the Xbox and the Kinect.
Yes, it was bundled together.
So, once again, $500. How many people bought them? Quite a bit. What are you getting with the Xbox One X?
But comparatively, the PS4 was much better because it was $100 cheaper.
But people still bought the Xbox.
Yes, they still did. I agree with you.
Hell, we were freaking... We both got one.
But the argument, though, is if the Xbox One came out at $399 instead of $499, how much more people would have bought into it from the get-go? And I think that's a fair argument.
Yes and no, because first off...
I don't think the Xbox One X...
Hold on. Can I get a point in before you keep jumping in on me here? Okay. First off, the Xbox One X has a 4K DVR.
Yep.
So, first off...
The UHD player, yep.
To record a video at 4K, just to get a capture card is $500.
Yeah, $400 to $500, sure.
So, okay. So, alone with that, and to top it off, how do we know that this is not going to allow, say, streamers who stream to Mixer won't be able to stream in 4K?
I think they will. I think they absolutely will.
Exactly. So, again, there's a real big benefit to the fact of streamers being able to stream at 4K. That's going to be amazing all on its own. Then you have a whole bunch of other features that are brought into this system that I do find make it worth the price that it is. First off, they always say you pay for what you pay for what you get, right? Is that how it's said? Or you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. That's how it is. I had to think about that for a minute. But you get what you pay for. And yes, okay, there are obviously components in this that are a little, they're not as high tech as they should be. They're probably behind the times on some of the things, but my whole thing comes back to the Xbox One came out at $499 with the Kinect. Yes, you got a camera, but this is giving you a 4K capture card pretty much.
Okay.
And that alone, I think, is a lot more beneficial.
I think the features that the Xbox One have do warrant the price. I'm not arguing that fact. But I'm just saying, like, from the aspect of the console price point and where people are more apt to go buy things, I think $500. And I think he's right. It's a little too high. Now, I will say that that's not the people they're going after with the Xbox One X.
No, they said that from the beginning.
Yes, and I agree. And I think that's where he's missing it.
Hardcore gamers.
Right, and I agree. And I think that's where, Pactor is missing the whole point of this thing, is it's not for the every gamer. Yeah. It's for the one that cares about those features and that aspect of it.
This is kind of what I think is a little bit funny about all of this. Now, a lot of people come out and they say, well, no, obviously Xbox wants to sell it. They want to sell consoles and yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine.
The higher install base, the more software they sell.
But they have the Xbox One S.
Yes.
For that point. Just for that point. That's for the everyday person. Hardcore gamers are significant. I knew I was going to say it, but then I screwed up. They are growing like crazy. And
but I don't think they're out.
No, they're not. Like, it's not like super, super crazy. But there is a lot more hardcore gamers out there than I think a lot of people are realizing.
Fair enough.
Just because we don't know them doesn't mean there isn't a lot of them out there.
I agree with you.
Which then buy the new system, because also this is the other thing we have to take into account. Cell phones, laptops, everything. Everybody likes the next big thing, which is why they go and buy the next big thing.
But here,
but you can
since
take
you're going
your
on that
S,
point,
but you can take your S, trade it in, and there's probably about $200. So guess what? How much are you paying for the Xbox One X?
I agree with you.
About $300.
I agree, and that's a fair point. I'm just wondering, like, how many do you think are going out there that are new to the ecosystem picking up the Xbox One X versus you already have and you're already invested in the Xbox and you're going in and trading in that system? I think it's more the latter, where you're trading in your system to get the Xbox One X, than other people coming in just for the whole apparel narrative or 4K narrative.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're all like, oh my god, 4K, let's do this. No.
I think as a whole, like, gamers don't really care about
just
resolution.
Like
they only care
his
about
whole
really good
comment
games.
about the TV thing. Okay, anybody can have a friggin' old-ass TV and keep it for who knows how long. Doesn't mean it actually works properly.
So I got some OG Xboxes over here.
Yeah, well, guess what? Still doesn't mean they work properly. So his whole theory on, like, oh my god, I can buy a TV and it'll last longer. Well, okay, Good for it, and it can still break just like everything else. And guess what? Chances are, when a new TV comes out, you're gonna want to buy a new TV. It's like everything else. Everything has an update to it. Everything. Majority of the time, people who want to buy the updates, they buy the updates, and then they have everything. People who don't, they don't. They keep what they're already keeping. And Xbox isn't stupid. They sell computers. Like, Microsoft knows what consumers are buying, what they are doing. And for them, like, I know everyone says, okay, Xbox is not exactly Microsoft. No. Okay, yes. But at the same time, they're still the same company. Microsoft is still Xbox. Even though they don't have the budget, like they're given different budgets, they're still the same company. So which means they still know what sells, what doesn't, what is doing well, what isn't.
Yeah, I'm sure they all have analytics of what's going on.
But that's my point. So for them to make this system, they wouldn't have made it if they knew it was going to just flop.
Well, let's be honest here. And I think a lot of this needs to like be said too, is like Microsoft was behind on the power narrative. And they wanted a console to be like, look, it's a beast. It's much more powerful than anything else out there, just like the OG Xbox was when that came out. It was the most powerful thing out there. And that's what they wanted to get back to. And I think that's a fair statement.
And they're still like...
And I think it's going to do well, and I think it's fine. I agree with you for the most part that, you know, what Pactor's saying is a load of bullshit. He's not listening to what Phil and the team out there are talking about this and who this is for. He's kind of missing the mark on that. He does make good points and valid points about like the price point and stuff of console markets, and I get that, you know, $4.99 was the original Xbox and stuff like that.
Sales though. Like,
I don't think you're going to initially see that. Maybe next year, yeah.
Why the Xbox One?
And that's what he's saying is like quick. Too is like wait till next year because it'd probably be cheaper.
But at the same time, I think even though Xbox doesn't actually get the trade-in sale, there's still a lot of people who end up buying the updated systems because they trade in old systems. That's usually just how it works, and you save money. Now, if Microsoft, if you're listening, chances are you're not, but if you were, you may want to actually take this into your own consideration and actually make yourself some money. Let people trade in their freaking consoles towards the new consoles. Like, it would be a smart move for Xbox to do.
GameStop, I mean.
But GameStop is not, they don't get the money.
It's not them, no.
But that's my point. They don't get that money. They don't get those systems. They resell those systems, and guess what? Where Microsoft, Xbox could actually take these systems.
I just think that's a logistical nightmare for them.
I don't think it is.
Because they're up in Seattle. Like, that's where their main base is and all that kind of stuff. So you'd have to mail this thing in. They'd have to, like, take care of whatever they're going to do with the old Xboxes. You know, do the trade-in program.
Them and resell them.
I just think they'd probably waste more money doing that instead of letting, like, GameStop or somebody else take on that brunt.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a fair point. I agree. I get what you're saying. I agree. I just don't think they're going to take on that
I don't think it would be too hard for them to do. Like, they're a big company.
Not.
Come on.
Maybe not.
They're a big company.
Anyway, I agree with you, though. I think Pactor's kind of a little bit of a loony bin. I never really liked the guy or really valued much of his opinions because he's kind of out there. I just thought it was interesting what he said and wanted to discuss it. Let's go ahead and get into another topic.
I didn't think it was interesting.
I thought it was interesting.
I didn't think it
was
interesting.
He had some really good points.
I think he was an idiot.
But I think you had some good points.
I still think he was an idiot. Anyways.
All right, moving on. The director of Kingdom Hearts sheds light onto why it's taking so damn long in development. And I know you're already rolling your eyes because you've been pissed off about Kingdom Hearts 3 or 4, whatever one we're on.
Gonna blame your engine? Like, come on.
That's a fair point, though.
No, it's not.
All right, let me go ahead and read what he says here. So he notes the swap to Unreal Engine 4 garners most of the blame. A decision was made by the higher-ups, he says. They essentially stated over that they needed to allocate more personnel and resources, which took time. Nomura goes out of his way to say he wasn't at fault, or the team and all this other kind of stuff was not at fault. It was all Square Enix executives and all this other stuff. Now, I think a lot of it's BS. Like, you're the damn game director. You gotta, like, be like, I'm the dude. I'm the one that's supposed to be taking care of this and getting this game out in a timely manner. But I do agree, if they did switch engines, like, midway through or a third of the way through, that's a pain in the ass. Like, you're writing code for your game engine that you're currently using, and then you pretty much threw that shit out the freaking door, trying to import as much as you can into Unreal Engine 4, have to rework all that crap. So you're basically starting over, is what he's saying. And that is fair critique of like why it's taking longer. I don't think that's all the reason, because this same director is working on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
First off, my problem with this is, okay, if you had to go and restart this game from scratch, why the hell are you sitting there like releasing trailers? Oh, it's coming out this year. Oh, it's coming out this year. Oh, it's coming out this year. Clearly, you know that there is a freaking problem about it. Shut up about it until you actually know what you're doing with it, instead of, oh, no, guys, it's coming out this year. Oh, sorry, no, wait, hold on. No, it's because you're too busy doing other shit instead of focusing on one game at a time, and that's why it's delayed. Like, grow up. Come on, everybody uses Engine 4
I don't think
have
that's
no
the
problem.
only... Yeah, I mean, if you started the game using that, yeah, you have no problem. I think it's fair, though, to say, if you're using one engine, you switch over, that's a pain in the ass to do.
Okay, first
you know,
off,
that's like me going in and being like, hey, guys, you're using this server, now I gotta rebuild the whole goddamn thing.
That's fine. But then don't keep coming out every single year saying that you're releasing this
game. No,
game.
I agree with you.
If you already,
they come out in 2013 and we're like, yo, here's the game, and holy shit, it's not going to come out until 2018. And that, bear in mind, if it doesn't get delayed anymore. Now they threw out a year. Well, to be fair, we can't really say it's been delayed because they didn't have a locked target date for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, it kept getting a fall. They kept saying, oh, it was releasing in fall. It was releasing in fall.
But I don't think they said ever like a year or anything like that. Like a definitive date.
Actually, yes. The very first time it was shown at E3 in 2015, I think it was, they actually said that it was going to release fall of 2016. That was the actual release date for that game, because that's what made me so excited about the damn thing. I wouldn't have been so excited about it if there wasn't that. And where my biggest issue is coming in is, first, it's Kingdom Hearts, okay? I know I love this game, but there's not that much to it. It's simply just
What are you talking about?
There's just a lot of... It's because they're adding so much crap. They're literally like...
What do you mean crap? Like, Toy Story's not crap? That's freaking awesome.
I don't like that they're adding Toy Story.
What are you talking about?
I'm not happy about Toy Story. I didn't really like those movies.
Woody, Buzz Lightyear.
But I didn't really like those movies. I didn't.
I'm just going to kick you off the show right now.
Well, good. Then that means I don't have to do it anymore.
I cannot believe you.
But I still wasn't huge in the Toy Story
I think it's really cool that of the aspect of it's a Japanese kind of RPG, but kind of relates to everyone due to the whole like Disney Pixar kind of elements of these games.
Well,
and I think that's why it has the mass appeal.
Release the game,
well, yeah, for this one.
But what I was actually referring to though is not what they have in it, like who the characters and stuff like that. I mean, like, they have 2 other games that they have released that literally look the same as this one. They're like,
I don't know. I think this one looks pretty good.
I love Kingdom Hearts, but in reality, they're still the same format.
How am I the one defending Kingdom Hearts and you're the one that's shitting on it right now? I don't understand this.
Because they're taking forever, and then they come out with this crap saying, "Oh my God, we're having problems with our real engine." So
you're saying to me that you watched the trailer they just released and you weren't hype and excited about that damn thing?
Because they showed Toy Story and everything.
Besides that,
like, again, I'm tired of getting hyped for this game.
I mean, that's a fair point.
For anybody who knows me, I got hyped for this game for the last 2 years. Well, guess what? I'm done. I really don't care. When you release this game, you release this game. Like, you know what? You know what I would be hyped for? If the creators of Kingdom Hearts, you know what you can do to make it up to all of us? Release 1 and 2. Remastered on Xbox One.
They ain't gonna do that.
I know they won't. But I would like them to do it.
That's not happening.
No, I doubt it. Because, like, that's like...
It's never gonna happen.
How do you know? They remaster crap all the time. I think that they should do it. And personally, I'm just disappointed because they come out now and say that, oh, well, we're having, engine problems. We have to restart it. Now they come out and say that? Okay.
Well, I think they did that because... Hey, here's our trailer. Oh, hey, by the way, it's coming out in 2018. Yay. Oh, by the way, here's why we fucked you guys for the last couple of years.
Yeah, but, okay, so when did they start
So what they were trying to do is, like, give you something really cool
to
be like, yay, and then they're like, oh.
Yeah, so then last year what? Oh, well, we gave you hype, but, we knew it wasn't coming out. Like, really? Really?
I think this does go back to the game director working on 2 projects. He's biting off.
He's doing too much.
But to be fair, if I was a game director and I was working on Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Final Fantasy VII remake, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm in this. I'll do it all fucking time.
No, I would have put Kingdom Hearts on hold and just did Final Fantasy, got it done, and then went back to Kingdom Hearts because I'm just tired of them.
You think you wouldn't be in more of a shithole if you did that?
They kept it quiet. Like, if they literally would have just shut up about it, nobody, like, I bet you anything, it would have
Well,
just
here's the
sat
thing
on
he should have done is take Kingdom Hearts 3, since it was announced at 2013's E3. Get that damn game done, because they just announced last year or the year before of...
It was last year they did the
Final Fantasy
yeah,
stuff.
that was last
I
year.
thought it was
2016.
Was it 16?
Yeah.
And... You know, they just announced that stuff. So why is that not on the back burner? Get Kingdom Hearts out and then get back into...
It would have made more sense, or put another team on it.
Yeah.
Like, really, it's just a remaster.
Yeah, he should have been a grown-up and been like, look, I can't do both of these. It's a one or the other. Which guys do you guys want?
Well, yeah, especially the fact it is just a
probably
remaster.
would've
It's
took
not
Final
like
Fantasy,
it's a brand new game. It's not like it's coming out and it's like, oh my god, this is a new and improved game. No, it's not. It's going to be just like every other remaster. Things are going to look cleaner, whatever. You should have just been like, all right, give it to another team. I got to get this done and get it out. Because just like someone said in the chat, I lost interest in Kingdom Hearts 3. And that's what's happened, because they constantly keep delaying this game. They show us something, then they delay it. They show something, and then they just don't even bother talking. Like, they literally stopped talking about it completely.
Well, I'll give people this. Like, I don't personally like seeing shit way too early, right? I wanted to see like within a year to 18 months, something like that, of when it's going to release. Now, if you're going to show something that's years and years and years out, like 3 to whatever, you know, happens in game development and all that kind of stuff, you better not say it's coming out anytime soon. You better say, hey, this is a projected date of whatever the fuck it is. Take the hits on the chin for showing it too early, but at least be upfront with people and being like, it's not going to be out for another 5 years.
Yeah, I have to work on it. But they didn't. They just kept showing us trailers, making it seem like it was coming out.
Teasing it along and teasing it along and teasing it along.
Like, there was nothing said, and then you don't say anything until people complain about it. Like, can we please be adults about this?
Everybody's going to go buy this damn game. Yeah, don't even shake your head.
No, well, no, it is still... I don't say everyone is going to go buy it, because it is still...
The first two sold pretty damn well. Even the HD remasters and all that kind of sold pretty well. But
still, the thing about Kingdom Hearts is it still has to be your kind of style. Like, that is the thing about Kingdom Hearts. It is still very...
That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you as far as like the RPG aspect of it. Yes, you have to be into that stuff.
Well, even the cartoonish of it.
I disagree.
Like that.
I think it has a lot of mass appeal to a lot of people out there. No. Like, how many people have grown up with like the Disney characters, you know, Pixar movies and all that kind of stuff, like Toy Story? Everybody knows these characters. Like, you could put that on like and show anybody and being like, oh, well, that's Woody, or that's Buzz Lightyear.
I still don't
That's Goofy and blah blah blah. That's Mickey. Like, everybody knows that shit.
I still don't see everybody going out buying this game.
I'm not gonna say like every gamer's gonna go out. Like, you're either into it. I agree, but I think it has more mass appeal than a lot of other JRPGs out there that can get people behind it for sure.
Yes, but just hopefully they don't keep going to where they just make everyone lose interest. Like, that's the biggest thing.
Well, they're saying 2018. Here's the thing. Do you think it's coming out in 2018?
No.
When do you think it's possibly coming out? I think they're going to say early 2018,
and it's going
to be like, no, we're going to push it back to probably holiday, maybe 2019 early.
It's going to be, I bet you it'll come out probably spring 2019.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like early.
Because they're not going to want to put it in the fall.
Depends on when they say. Because if they come out like the rest of this year towards the end, like let's say PSX or whatever, and they come out and say, hey, it's releasing early 2018, I think it's going to be pushed back to the end of 2018. Now, if they come out and don't say a date, they won't
bring it out in the fall.
Or if they say holiday 2018, I think it's going to get pushed to 2019.
They won't bring it out in the fall. You guys can all quote me on this. I don't care. I do not see this game coming out in the fall. This game cannot compete with all those kind of... Because no matter what, you're still going to have the Call of Duties. You're still going to have like all the main AAA titles release.
I disagree on that fact because of like South Park and a game like this. They have their niche people that are going to buy it regardless.
Do you want to know why I'm saying this? Okay, so I have said this from the beginning. Most games, Xbox releases their titles in the fall. PlayStation releases their titles in the spring.
This isn't a PlayStation game. It's a multiplayer.
But it is still PlayStation focused. When people think of Kingdom Hearts,
yes, they think of PlayStation.
They think of PlayStation.
I give you that.
So in all, the consumer base in the developers' minds, yes, I'm sure they're excited it's going to Xbox, and they're probably really hoping that it sells good, but they still know their main fan base is going to be PlayStation because of the fact that there was the other two games. But
that doesn't mean it can't release in the fall.
But
and have
because
a good
it's
showing.
PlayStation based, and most Japanese games, I still find release in the spring. So if they release it, it'll either be 2018 spring. I don't see happening. But It'll end up being 2019.
I don't think
spring.
it's 2018 early either.
That's the only.
I think it's going to be late 2018, early 2019 for sure.
It's just if you look at developers and their style and.
Well, to your point, Kingdom Hearts have been more of early year releases than later year releases.
They were,
but
yes.
I still disagree. I think it'll do well, even if they did it on
Kingdom
holiday.
Hearts should just
They may
release
not.
in the summer. Can games just release in the damn summer already?
Maybe.
Because, like...
I don't know. I think it was a good discussion on Kingdom Hearts, though.
Like, yeah.
I think it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our discussion topic of the night, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. So, Castlevania released on Netflix, this nice little TV show. It was 4 parts. It's pretty short. I think it was like an hour and a half total. We enjoyed the shit out of it. Like, I really liked it and digged it. My question is, did you like it? Did everyone else out there get to see it on Netflix, and did you guys like it? And what other series out there would lend itself well to this type of kind of like animated? I want to stick to the animated. Yeah. Because I think
that they have so much more range.
Right. And I think live action doesn't pull off a lot of the cool stuff that they do in the games and stuff like that. So let's keep it like an animation, like a cartoon kind of like aspect.
First off, Castlevania released on Netflix on July 7th. Yep. So anyone who wants to go watch...
SheWulf's got some like crazy things she wants to tell us too.
Yes. They only released 4 episodes. Now that I was actually... Before I jump into my little fun fact for everybody... I am disappointed they only released 4 episodes.
Yes, because I agree. It was too short.
I started watching it and I'm like, oh my God. Especially with Netflix. Netflix always releases 13 episodes with most of their TV shows. It's always usually
Do you think like this first one though, this first season was like a test?
Yeah. I think it was a tester. And I can see like...
maybe the next season will be a lot
We'll
longer.
have more if the ratings are actually up on this. Because it wasn't a... Like, okay, so when you go into Castlevania... For anyone who remembers, like, this may be a bad combination to it, but the heavy metal cartoons that they did way before, they were very adult-oriented. Yeah. And this, even though there's not that form of, like, nudity and all that kind of stuff, this is still something that is very gruesome and more, like, it is definitely aimed...
language and all that stuff.
Yes, it is definitely aimed towards adults. This is not, for kids. And... I think they were just trying to see if something like that can still sell nowadays because a lot of thing is live action and a lot of things do go live action. So people are more like, yeah, we want that because they want, And
but I'm a big fan of like the Batman one-off like movies, like Flashpoint. Flashpoint was very adult. Like you watch Thomas Wayne going out there, like killing people and all that kind of stuff as Batman. And you've seen people shooting up, cutting others' arms and stuff off. I'm like into that kind of stuff, and I like those one-off type kind of stories. So I was totally into this for sure.
I liked how they portrayed it and actually brought it up in everything. So so my fun fact for everybody seems now that my notes closed, which kind of sucks because now I have to try to pull it back up. I do remember it off by heart, but I was hoping to actually read it for example.
Let's see if you can do it well.
Okay, so my fun fact is Trevor, the main protagonist in this. Can you guys guess who plays him?
As a voice actor? No, I don't know.
It's for Thorin from Lord of the Rings.
Who's that?
The dwarf, King Dwarf in the last movie.
Yeah.
It's him.
Interesting.
He plays Trevor.
That's a cool.
I was like, wow.
That was one thing. Let me ask you this because I thought one thing was weird about Castlevania, and it was the voice acting, where I felt like some of the characters' voices didn't really match what they were kind of in. I know I see your face, so you kind of got that too. Yeah. And I don't know if that was just like the whole animation or they were trying to get it done quickly or whatever, but I just felt it was kind of a little bit off. It was still fantastic. I still enjoyed it. Now, what other series would you think in the gaming world would be really cool? We've already seen Halo, like animated stuff, so that's kind of a cheesy one. Gears would be cool.
I would love to see a Gears of War.
Fox is going to jump for joy that you said that.
I bet. I would love to see. I know they're bringing that live action, but that's where things kind of worry me with the whole live action
I think that
thing.
Fits.
It could, but
because it's very military,
But the thing is, are you really gonna we all know this?
If they start like shooting like over the third person kind of thing, or like that Doom movie or something, they try to go like first person. Like, don't do that, guys. Just do a good story.
My thing with like doing the live action for Gears is the fact that Marcus and all them are very, like, they're distinct. When you see these characters, they're very distinct. Sorry, guys, none of you men look like that. There's just no way that any of these guys look like that. You're going to get people close, obviously, bodybuilders and all that kind of stuff. But they also look too muscular, where Marcus and them...
The fourth one looked much better because they had a lot more realistic.
JD and all them, they looked more realistic and stuff like that. And I'm curious how it's going to play out.
I think it's going to be cool. I think that one lends itself well to live
But I would
action.
have liked to have seen that in an animation with the work that they could have done because it is so dark and gloomy. That was the one thing with Castlevania is they were able to do all those amazing things. Like, this would not... Okay, the best comparison for Castlevania would obviously be Van Helsing.
Yeah.
They did all the bats and all
Dracula
that thing.
movies and all that kind
but
of stuff.
yes, but the problem with it is, yes, it was scary, but the creatures, because you knew that they were, like, 3D animated and all that kind of stuff, they weren't super scary. Like, they didn't give you that. But when you watch an animation... Because they can put so much detail into the drawings, you feel it more. And that's one of the reasons why I loved animation, especially with, like, say, like, Bleach and all of them. They make their characters because you can add so much more detail than when you're doing 3D graphics because it's just so much more, like, a wide variety, and you know it doesn't always fit into the, realistic
What do you think
world.
about, like, Dead Space? That whole franchise.
I didn't really play that game.
Okay.
So,
well, fair enough.
sadly, guys, I didn't play that game.
I think Dead Space lends its well to, like, that dark anime kind of animation.
I want Evil Within.
Evil Within? Well, that would be more of a live action for me.
Really?
Like
well, yeah, I get.
I don't know if I want that in, like, an animation kind of thing.
I guess it's kind
like
of
to
an
see that
animation
more
of its own because of the fact that it's done the way that it is.
I think Dead Space would lend itself well to, like, an animation type thing, and I think it's really cool.
Dead Space has a couple movies already.
Do they?
Are they animation though, or are they? I
did not know that. I'm gonna have to go watch these now.
Are they? I want to know. Are they animation or are they done in
live action?
Live action.
They're probably more animation. Terry Crews as Coltrane. I agree.
That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely.
But he's
hilarious.
not Crackdown. It can't be both. You can only be one or the other.
They're animated. Ooh, I think I know what we're going to watch after this.
Wolfenstein would be crazy.
Ooh,
that'd be a good live.
one.
That'd be both.
Yeah.
He's got them awesome one-liners. Like, you could totally see, like, a live action, but I could totally see a cartoon too.
That's true.
Like an anime type style kind of stuff. That'd be really cool.
I want to see South Park as a live action. That'd be funny.
That was out of there.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the poster that's behind me. That would be funny. I don't know, but it would be funny. It would be super funny watching, like, real Canadians
be like a bunch of, like, Canadian kids to go out there and being like act like Cartman and freaking Butters.
You do like the whole like Grinch smile and stuff like that for, like, their big mouth open and all that. I think it'd be hilarious. I think it would be hilarious.
I like my traditional South Park. Don't ruin it on me.
I think it'd be funny. Then you see Kenny, like, bring down his hood and he's like some blonde little boy. That'd be funny. I think it'd be funny. So other cartoons that would be good as animation. A lot
of the good ones already taken, like Batman's been done and all that kind of stuff. Ghostbusters has been done.
Yep.
Big shout out to Magic Mike Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, he loves Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
What games have I played recently that I would want to see? Most games you play are animation, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, I guess that's a good point too.
And they kind of have the story, like, so you kind of already see most of these games in animation and story like that. Like, I guess even Castlevania, but I guess that's older. Like, it was kind of like
Zelda.
Yeah.
I think Zelda's been done though. I think Zelda had a cartoon there for a while, like one of those Saturday morning ones.
Yeah, I think Zelda would probably. Ooh, The Witcher. Well, okay, so that
The Witcher would be interesting.
The Witcher goes back to the same thing, though. It's kind of already got its own animation story in The Witcher with all of its cutscenes.
But, like, doing, like, a full-on, just, like, one-off series.
Well, no,
like,
that's true. If
him, like, hey, I got this contract for this monster and going through and figuring out all that kind of stuff would be kind of cool.
Well, yeah, and then watching, meeting people.
Using his powers.
I would definitely have to say, no children's eyes.
Yeah, that wouldn't be... because they kind of get nude and kind of a little crazy in that one too. But that's it, guys. That's all the topics we have for you for this gaming report. I hope you guys all enjoyed the first show. Like I said, we're going to be doing this a couple times a week, maybe more. Maybe you might see some new faces here and there and all that kind of cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and let SheWulf say whatever she wants to say, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here.
Just pretty much thank you, everyone, for joining us. Regular details, you can catch me streaming Monday to Friday. Well, actually, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because Friday I do the Gaming Den, which is a new podcast on the Gamers Knows Best YouTube channel. But you can catch me here on Mixer from Monday to Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time at xSHEWULFx with you. Not a no.
And I am GKB, the Governor. You can find me at Gamers Knows Best on YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, you're probably going to see the set change a lot, too, for this show. I got a lot of things I'm working on and all kinds of cool stuff. You know me, changing things all the time. SheWulf hates hearing about all this stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. It's going to be much like this every day. We're going to go through some news topics and then have a cool little discussion at the end about some off-the-wall topics. So see you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody rocking out in the chat and all that kind of cool stuff. And it's going to be uploaded on YouTube here in a little while, so you can check it out again. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that kind of cool stuff. Thanks, guys.